everyone, how are you? I hope you're doing fine and you're preparing for the very first chapter, which is the fundamental unit of life. So, guys, we are going to start that chapter. Let me introduce myself. I'm Anjali Ahuja, and I hope you already know about me because you must have seen my videos. And if you don't know, now you know. So, guys, now I'm going to share my screen and we are going to learn the first chapter of your syllabus. Let's start. I hope you're able to see my screen. So as you see, first of all, we are going to discuss the fundamental unit of life. And I have to give an example that you would be able to understand what we are going to learn in this chapter. Guys, let me suggest you one thing. Sometime what happened, we are not able to understand any topic. The first thing to understand any topic is that you should understand what is the utility of this topic, what actually you're going to learn in this. When you understand now, this is what the topic is all about and this is we have to cover, half the topic is done. Like now you will understand. If you see the picture on the screen here, a group of people are sitting, right? They are working together. I give an example of askIITian, we are also a group of people. Now, we are working as in by distribution of the work. Like if I talk about the company, there are many people who are in contact with you. They are the support person who are scheduling your classes. They are the teachers who are taking your classes. Then there were the counselor person who scheduled the demo probably if you took. And then you are here. The point is that there are always group of people who are working together. And there is a distribution of work among them. You understand? Same thing is there inside the cell. I know that you know that cell is the basic structural unit of our body. I don't have to tell you that. You have learned that in 8th class. Point is that into the cell, there are many organelles who are working like this. They all have a distribution of the work. In this chapter, we will be learning about the structure of the cell and how these organelles, the part of the cell, are working together. Yeah, these are the organelles of the cell. Let's move forward. Now, guys, in this chapter, what we are going to cover? We'll be covering, obviously, introduction, I just told you, discovery of the cell, concept of microscopic cell theory, features of cell, unicellular and multicellular cell. So let's start it. What we are waiting for. So basically, guys, the first thing that we have to understand, cell, it evolved like a millions of years ago. From the very first precursor of life to the multitude of multicellular organisms. Do you understand this? No. Basically, what was there, it used to be very simple cell earlier. And then it got like the complicated version, the multinucleated. If I talk about the literal thing, all organisms, we have been evolved by the non-living creature. There were non-living molecules. Then they started to form the organic molecules. There was the reaction between air, water, lightning in the nature. So all that reaction happened. So organic molecules started to get formed. Our organic molecules like carbohydrate, simple carbohydrate, amino acids, simple amino acid, simple protein, they later on found. So then these were simple molecules. Then they started to form the macromolecules. Like micro is the small molecule and macro is the bigger molecule. So from micro to macro and eventually they formed a cell. And then from the cell, yeah, unicellular and multicellular organisms formed. There is a video also, guys, that I'll be showing you. And I have added in your class notes also. You'll be able to find that. It's just telling how the cell has been formed. I mean, we were like the non-living one. And the story that I've told you, you'll find it everything. So that's what I want to say in this topic. That cell evolved like a billions of years ago, and then we are here, the multicellular organism. I'm going to tell you that. Let's continue. Yeah, so they have shown a video. I don't know whether this video will be played or not, but that's fine. I'm going to show you this video. If you want to see the video, let me share my notes with you. Yeah, here it is. So that video is all about that. I have already added here. So into this video, what they have shown is all the living creature like this. This is our body internally. I'm going to just forward the video, guys. That thing, I don't think that is needed because inside the body, they have given various examples. Like if it is a baby, if it is a plant, if it is a microorganism, whatsoever, we all are made up of cells. In this video, that's what they have explained. And in our brain, and then they in this video they have explained there are different type of cells. Nerve cells, there are male gamete, female gamete. These are different type of cells in our present in our body. And you see there are thousands, actually not thousands, quadrillion chemical reaction every second in the cells in a body. And if I talk about one cell, there happen 5 to 6,000 reactions in just one cell. So this reaction happened, guys. So that's what they have told. That in this cell, the amazing biochemistry has nurtured life on Earth for billions of years, and it started from the biomolecules, which starts on getting complex and complex. In this video, only these things have been explained. So I'm just telling you the crux of the video, guys. It's totally fine. Agar is video mein, if there have been something very important, I would have given you the link. I would have explained you everything. Link there, though you will be able to find, but I would have explained you just that in this video they have just told that all living creatures are formed of cell. I'm coming back to the presentation, guys. Here you see, here's the presentation. PowerPoint. Here. So that's what they have explained. Now let's move toward the next part. Discovery of the cell. Guys, we have been learning this since forever, that the first cell was discovered by Robert Hooke in 1665. And the fact is that he discovered a dead cell. Probably he did not see anything under the microscope. The first thing was the invention of the microscope. It was a good one, but actually he was using a simple lens. He did not see anything. He just saw a structure like this. Just a dead cell, which is not having anything, not even nucleus he saw, nothing. It's just a cell wall, which is probably having some suberin or lignin, cell wall material around it. Lignin and suberin is the wax-proof material, if you remember. Now I'm telling you, if you don't remember, it used to be present as a waterproof material. So especially it is deposited in the dead cells, but that's what he saw. The first living cell, it was discovered by Leeuwenhoek. Interesting fact. Leeuwenhoek was the one who discovered the microscope, though it was a simple one. Matlab, what used to be happening at that time, like first of all, the microscope was invented, and then everyone was like really interested to see what's under the microscope. Excuse me. So what's under the microscope? 24/7 they are observing everything, and then the microscope property was also getting improved. Leeuwenhoek was the one who saw the living cell. Let me tell you, it was a green algae named Spirogyra that he saw under the microscope for the first time. So Leeuwenhoek discovered microscope, Leeuwenhoek discovered the first living cell, and the first dead cell, it was discovered by Robert Hooke. Who discovered nucleus, by the way? I know that you know. If you don't know, it's Robert Brown in 17th century. Discovered it. Now let's move forward. Okay. So guys, as I have mentioned about the microscope, this is my duty to tell you something about microscope. Let me change the pen color. Okay, brown is good. So basically, guys, okay, I'll better choose the highlighter because I have to highlight certain parts now. So basically, guys, into the microscope. I don't know how many of you have seen microscope in your school, but next time if you go in the school, tell your teacher you want to see the microscope. How we see under the microscope. This is a modern microscope, not very modern. We have number of microscope. I have a video with that too. Electron microscope, light microscope. This is the compound microscope. And basically, the main important thing that work in microscope is that a lens through which you're watching, and then there is a slide that you must be watching, and then there is a light source. From the light source, light is falling actually on the slide. From the lens you're watching, and from the slide, light is falling down the slide, you may say. It needs the light. It needs a light source. And then there is a simple microscope where you actually put it in the sunlight because sunlight is used as a light source. And then there is a compound microscope where electricity bulb, a little bulb kind of thing is there. So in this, illumination is happening, which is falling on the slide. So here actually slide is there. Now the thing that we have to remember, into the microscope, there are two types of lenses. One is this eyepiece lens, which is nearby the eyes, ocular lens, which is that through which we are watching, and then another is this objective lens which is nearby the object is light. Now guys, in the microscope, while you're watching, you need to focus it, right? You can watch microscope without glasses and then with glasses, because the focal length changes according to your eyesight. Now, to adjust the focus, you need to focus and just listen to me. There are coarse adjustment and fine adjustment. Coarse adjustment is like moving the slide at bigger distance. Fine is like in millimeter, less than that, focusing even less than that. So to move a little at a more distance, coarse adjustment is there. To move a very fine movement is needed. Fine adjustment is needed. Okay. Other than this, the other part, I think these parts are much enough for you to remember. But still, there's a light switch to on and off, because light is needed, because light will be falling on the backside of the slide. And the thing which is inside the slide, a cross section, a longitudinal section, whatever be there, it'll be visible. Stage clip is just holding on to the stage slide. I don't think anything is. No. Yeah, so one thing I would like to add, in this, if you see, there are many objective lenses. Guys, do you know what is magnification? If you know, that's a good thing. If you don't know, ask your physics teacher. Magnification is magnified. Magnification means the zoom, at which scale you're zooming in something. So there are lenses in the microscope. They are known as magnifying lenses. They are magnifying the stuff 10x, 20x, 40x, 100x. Well, the better is the x, better you can see. I mean, you can see a good vision. Next time you go in the school, see the sample. You can see cell division sample, epidermal cells, stomatal cell, a number of your cheek cells, epithelial cells, a number of cells you can see under the microscope. Go for it. If you want, I can provide you some video links. Thank you. Let's move. Now, guys, into the concept of microscopy. Actually, now this slide, why I have added it, is having a video. This is having a video on different type of microscope. That's what I was saying. This is added in your notebook. You can just download it from there. If you want, I can provide you the link. But yeah, anyways, let me just share the screen again. In that video, I will show you this. Into this now, what they have explained, let me, एक second, na? I would like to zoom the video better. So in this video, what they have seen is how they're watching things under the microscope. That see, I'm using the microscope, and under this, I'm gonna just see the things. Magnification. That's what I've explained to you, how much it is magnifying. And then there is a resolution thing also. So, but another term that's important, basically resolution. This is important. Otherwise, two object could actually resolution is the, like, two things are there. If you see the two things merged, and if you see when you increase the magnification, you see them getting separated, and you watch them bigger, bigger, and bigger. That's resolution. That it is actually showing the two parts with clarity. Nothing. Okay, so that's what is explained in the video. Now they have just explained a lot more about the microscope, that there are objective lens and there's a condenser lens, and then there's a light. Actually brightened and darkified. Actually, what they have explained it is when we are putting the microscope under the light and when not. Why it is all, then it is able to focus, and then it is not able to focus. Into the darkified, focus will be different. Actually, these are a different type of microscope, frankly saying. There's a light microscope, there's electron microscope, so that depends. And let me see what they have shown. Incredible internal structure. Yeah, all the structure of the microscope. I have explained you everything. I don't have to tell you anything again. See, I've explained you everything, guys. Yeah, so in this video, they have shown that how you're making the slide, how you're putting under the microscope, how it is working. That's it. Now coming back to the presentation. I always mess up. PowerPoint slideshow, there it is. Okay, so guys, now let's move forward. We will be talking about the next thing, which is cell theory. So cell theory is something when all the scientists, they have been studying about the cells all the time. Because they actually at that time microscope was invented and it was very new thing. Everyone is like very much interested to see what microscope is, what are the function. So yeah, on the basis of that thing, they have made the cell theory. Now let me give you information about that. All the points are written already on the screen. So basically, cell theory, it was given, let me just write up there. In 1830 and 1838, two biologists was there. I might just, excuse me, I might just confuse with the spelling, but I suppose I'll be writing it right. James Keldon, Leiden, and Swan, Swan. They have given the cell theory. They propose cell theory. According to them, cell is the structural and functional unit. According to them, cells are all the living creatures are made up of cells. But the third point that was not given by them, it was given by another person in 1855. Name is Rudolf Virchow. Yeah, he was a German pathologist. So basically, what he told it in his language. He told omnis cellular cellular. That's a German language. What does it mean? It means all cells arise from the pre-existing cells. Actually, he has given an indication of the cell division. If in higher classes or there also you'll be learning about the cell division, this is mentioned in history that Rudolf Virchow mentioned it, that all cells come from the pre-existing cell. That means he was clearly indicating cell division. So that is all about cell theory. And I suppose that's very clear to you. It can come as a 2 marks question in your paper. Just remember it. And yeah, nothing. Let's move forward. I hope that's clear to you. If it is not, you have a bash discussion forum in your account. Just post your question. Let's move. Now, guys, the next thing. This topic is something feature of the cell that I don't think no one is going to ask you question on, but you should remember it. I'm going to choose the brown color now. So feature of the cell. Cell is present in different shapes and sizing and structure, different way in our body. There are billions and billions of cells present in us. Yeah, we are the big organism. We have number of cells, and there are small organisms. They have less number of cells. So let's talk about it. Cell are present in different shapes: oval, spherical, rectangular, spindle shaped, and then there is totally irregular, like the nerve cell. Yeah, so the cell of the size also varies in different organisms. I tell you one thing, guys. Cell number depend upon the size of organism. Bigger the size, bigger the cell number. But cell size doesn't depend upon the size of organism. A bigger organism can have a smaller cell, and a small organism like a cockroach or a lizard, they can be having a larger cell than us, any cell that can be. So that thing I want to say. Now let me give you an example of different type of cells present in a body. Yes, I told you they are present in different shapes. So these are different. See, in this chapter, we will be covering about the basic structure of the cell. Cell is having this organelle, that organelle, everything. But the basic structure is same. Even if it is a nerve cell, even if it is a sperm or ova, yeah, all are having all the creature that is needed: a nucleus, a membrane, an organelle, everything. It's just that their shapes and they are modified to do certain work. So that modification thing, that they are designed to do different work. Like a sperm is there, it is designed to do fertilization. So its modification is that way, but it has all the basic structure. Same is with the nerve cell. So there are stem cells. Stem cells are totipotent, actually multipotent or pluripotent, I would say, because it means that it can just be in different type of cell. A cell which is capable of forming different type of cell is that thing, multipotent. So stem cell, bone cell, osteocytes are there. Then there is a blood cell, RBC, blood, and I was saying RBC and blood BC. It's blood cells, WBC, and platelets. And then there are muscle cells. These are elongated one. Endothelial cells are very thin, feeble, elongated one. Elongated means like the pressed dorso-ventrally flattened kind of. Nerve cell are then these are actually elongated. Skin cells are again pressed kind of thing. Fat cell are adipocytes. They are present as in globular form. Sex cells are sperm and ova. I have told you. Then they are pancreatic cell. They are actually secreting hormones and enzymes in our body. Cancerous cells, they do not have any particular rule to just survive. They just divide. So there are different type of cells present in the body. Please remember it. Now, when the cell is growing, the amount of surface area becomes small to allow material to enter and leave the cell quickly though. I mean, when the cell size is increasing comparatively, if you talk the ratio, then the amount of surface area comparatively becomes reduced. If a cell is smaller, then the membrane is kind of folded and kind of tend to have more area. So cell size is also limited by the amount of cytoplasmic activity that the cell's nucleus can control. Actually, the size of the cell is dependent upon the number of cells and not on the size of cell. The cell size remains constant for a particular cell and it is independent of the size of organism. As I've told you, the larger the size of elephant is due to the larger number of cells present in the body. I repeat myself. Now, guys, cells actually, they used to be measured in micrometer. A micrometer is 1,000th of a millimeter. Please remember. I'm going to tell you smallest and longest cell. Yeah, and I'll tell you on the same screen. So basically, the longest cell is nerve cell. It can have size up to 1 meter, not in us, but in aquatic organisms, many of them. The smallest cell is mycoplasma. See, this is the longest cell. This is the smallest cell. Size is approximately 0.1 micron. Now remember one thing, guys, this mycoplasma is the smallest cell and this is also known as PPLO. PPLO, full form is pleuro pneumonia. I'm not able to write in this area. I didn't know that. Pneumonia, please consider. It's the worst writing I've written. Like organism. Now, the largest cell is obviously, everyone knows that, that's ostrich. The smallest cell in human being is, think about it, size is 170 to 135 millimeters. The smallest cell in human being is a sperm, remember. Can we move forward now? Yeah, so one thing I have also mentioned, the cell is present in different shape. It is dilated in nerve cell, it is having the elongated version, stellated, muscle cell is like spindle, endothelial is having no particular shape, red blood cells is biconcave, WBC is not having particular shape. So you should remember it. Now guys, next thing is cell number. Actually, I have mentioned about the cell number, but on the basis of cell number, there are two types of organisms. That is, I'm going to mention that. Let's move forward. So guys, before I proceed with anything, I repeat myself, bacha, if you have any doubt, you can just put it on the forum. Huh? There is a discussion board option in your account. So on the left side in your student account, now you see discussion board, go into that, do the proper tagging and post your doubts. In the class also ask your teacher. I am recording this video and I am uploading it for you, but I suppose everything is already clear. Let's move. So depending upon the number of organisms, there are two types of organisms. One is the unicellular and then there is a multicellular one. So unicellular organisms that used to include bacteria, protozoa, fungi, algae and archaea. Actually, algae is this blue-green algae. Okay, let me mention it. Unicellular organism. Unicellular organism consists of one cell. This one cell is enough to survive. This one cell itself is the organism. Like in our body, there are a number of cells. But we cannot say that one cell is strengthily enough, or you may say strong enough to survive by itself? No, our cells are dependent on each other. But this unicellular is the one where like single cell is there, and this is not dependent upon another organism, except certain cases. But this is enough to survive and divide and to have the nutrition and do all the life processes. Now, it includes bacteria. Think about all the examples of bacteria: E. coli, Klebsiella, or bolo, Mycobacterium. Think about more. Yeah, I'm giving you time to think. Okay. So, protozoan examples. Protozoa is the second kingdom if you have not learned diversity chapter, but you're going to learn it eventually. Protozoa example is amoeba, Antamoeba histolytica, Euglena, Euglenoids. Yeah, think about more. Paramecium. Okay, now I'm not going to tell you more because you are going to learn it. Fungi. Fungi example, actually only one fungi is there, yeast, which is unicellular. This is the exception. All fungi are multicellular. Algae is the blue-green algae only category here. Actually, this blue-green algae is not algae. This belongs to kingdom Monera. In diversity chapter, you'll be learning about all the kingdoms. So there is a kingdom which is known as Monera. Bacteria, blue-green algae, it belongs to it. And then there's a second kingdom, which is Protista. So protozoa used to come under it. Actually, this should be whole Protista. All of the category, all of the organism under Protista kingdom, they all are unicellular. Okay, so then there is Archibacteria. This is also under the Monera. Clear? So unicellular organism means a cell, an organism which occur as just a cell which is surviving and has all the organelles and surviving on its own, doing all the life processes. I repeat myself. In this picture, they have shown all the examples. Interesting fact, Euglena. It used to act as a connecting link between living. No, sorry, I take my words back. Between autotroph. I'm so sorry. Heterotroph. Actually, in the daytime, it has chlorophyll. It is able to show photosynthesis. So in the daytime, it is autotrophic. It acts as a plant. In the nighttime, it is not able to show photosynthesis. It acts as an animal, heterotroph. So it is a connecting link between plants and animal, or you may say it is a connecting link between autotroph and heterotroph. Euglena, remember it. We are done with unicellular cell. Now let's move towards the multicellular cell. I suppose we are almost done. I'm going to just pick some questions. So multicellular cell, or you may say multicellular organism, I must say. Actually, now multicellular organism is the one where many cells are there which is surviving together. Like I was giving my example, not in my animal example or mammals example or human example. That we are having number of cells and these cells cannot survive like alone. It needs to be dependent on another. They have junction, they transport in between, molecules move from one cell to another cell. They are interdependent on each other. That's called multicellular organisms. So these organisms are made up of a number of cells. Fungi, yeast example was only unicellular, but all fungi are multicellular. Plants, animals, they are examples. All the cells of multicellular organisms have a similar basic structure and similar basic life activities. These cells group together to produce different tissues, and that's the next chapter is all about. So tissues, they form organ, then they form organ system, then organism. I'm going to teach you that in the next class, but yeah, remember it. That's a pattern. If I have mentioned the pattern, shall I just write it? Okay, I'll write it. I think you must have learned it in your lower grades. I don't have to waste much time on this. And then organism. Now, guys, if a question come in your paper that you have to write the difference between unicellular and multicellular organism, I think you will be able to write it, isn't it? I am giving you a little question. Think about it. You should think about the ages of the cell. Different cell used to have different age. Okay. I thought I'll give you as a homework, but I can give you some example. For example, a skin cell, it has an age of 19 days. When we wake up in the morning from the bed, our bed is full of the dead cells of us. Do you know that? It's just dirty. It has a number of just, cells of our body. Eyelashes live for 3 to 4 months. I'm gonna just write it over the diagram. Liver cell. I don't know why I'm not able to write on this area of this presentation. So liver cell, it can just fly for 3 to 4 months. RBCs, I suppose you know that. Yeah, approximately 120 days, 3 to 4 months. Bone cells, that's something you should remember. Bone cells. Sorry, I'm not able to write in this particular area. I'll be checking it later. I'm done with this recording. 15 to 25 years. So that's it. So basically, guys, now in this chapter, in the next part that we'll be watching, we will be learning about plant cell, animal cell differences, prokaryote, eukaryote differences. We'll be learning about all the cell structure, all the organelles about the cell. So stay connected and don't get bored watching this video. You're learning it. Don't worry. You're learning it well. If you get in doubt, just post it on the forum discussion board, or you can also post it obviously on the Ask Expert, the main page of the website. Yeah, I'm done for the day. Thank you. Bye bye. Take care.